Today on All Systems Go, we binge on binary and talk technology.
Break out those hot dogs and frankfurts because All System Go starts right now.
Hey, wait, where's Ian at?
Oh, I ate him. Man, he's good. Hello and welcome to All Systems Go. We're the show that went back in time to revive Cyberdyne and made an army of robot waifus to give our extinction events, well, a little more eye candy. I'm a relic from the past.
And I'm Tony, P1000. Scott Pilgrim is celebrating its 10th year anniversary this year. There's been a brand new trailer released along with a never-before-seen version hitting theaters April 30th. Edgar Wright, the director-producer, says, I suspect that if you're a fan of the movie, you're going to get such a kick out of seeing it like this. Wright also has expressed interest in a Scott Pilgrim animated series, so let's keep our fingers crossed.
Still hungry after their acquisition of Bethesda, Microsoft is now looking to acquire Discord. The communication service is primarily used by the video game chat community and where you'll find most of us at 3 a.m. screaming at Adobe Premiere. The price is set at a staggering $10 billion and would become another Infinity Stone added to Microsoft's gauntlet of power over the gaming scene. If PlayStation isn't feeling the heat just yet, a disruption in communication can mean only one thing: invasion.
Speaking of PlayStation, Sony is rumored to be closing their doors on 3 of PlayStation services this year. Maybe the last time players can access the PSP, PS3, and PS Vita marketplace. With the digital channels potentially closing as soon as next 3 months, players will be unable to re-access games and downloadable content that they already purchased once Sony pulls the plug. At least we have the free games offered by their Play at Home initiative.
If you thought Jim Carrey's performance in the Sonic movie was beautiful, then I have some good news for you. The rubber-faced man and Sonic writers Pat Casey and Josh Miller dropped a bombshell during a recent interview that a third Ace Ventura movie is in the works, and after the production for the second Sonic movie sequel comes to a wrap, Amazon Studios will back the movie and production will begin immediately, and with almost 3 decades of nostalgia cravings for that old Jim Carrey movie magic we briefly saw in Sonic, the silver screen will once again be blessed with the pet detective talking out of his backside and saving animals. I mean, we just couldn't be happier.
This past Thursday, Square Enix presented a number of new trailers. Among them was news for the Avengers game. Alongside the presentation, the next-gen upgrade for the game launched, and Hawkeye released as a playable new character. Operation Hawkeye Future Imperfect continues the story started with Kate Bishop earlier this year. And the next-gen versions boast 4K at 60 FPS. We also got a trailer for the next expansion. The Battle of Wakanda expansion will introduce Black Panther, the Villainous Claw, and a Wakanda region for the game. It's expected later this year.
Along with all of the other goodies Square Enix dropped, among them was a new trailer for the Life is Strange game sequel. The new game, Life is Strange True Colors, is about a bisexual Asian woman named Alex Chen who is trying to learn about her brother's death. She can also see and feel other people's emotions, and this continues the series' tendency to have superpowered teens investigating deaths. Additional outfits for Alex can be netted as a bonus if you pre-order the game, and Life is Strange True Colors is slated to release September 10th, 2021.
Hey Dan, it's kind of funny, we have, tech in the intro, but we don't even use tech at all during the show.
We use plenty of tech, and I don't know what you're talking about, because even if you feel like you're lacking on tech, we have a tech segment coming right up after the break.
You heard it here, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Have you heard what a gimbal is? Yeah, me neither. But apparently it's freaking amazing. And Garrett is here to show us how they use one. Take it away, Garrett.
Today, I'm going to be showing you the basics of gimbals. So, what is a gimbal? A gimbal is a camera stabilizer that removes any shaky movement, allowing for smooth, seamless videography. Now, each gimbal can be set up differently, but we're going to be showing you today the basics of setting up a gimbal with step 1, weight.
Weight is one of the most essential parts you should know about when setting up a gimbal.
Gimbals are weight-based, so anything that you may change the distribution of how the weight is on the camera will ultimately affect the gimbal. Stuff as simple as a lens hood, or even a lens cap, or even a memory card can even change the way that the gimbal works. Even stuff like a focal length can even change how the distribution throughout the camera works.
Step 2. The gimbal itself.
When setting up a gimbal, there are a few main components that every gimbal should have: the legs, the body, the gimbal itself, batteries, and a screw to screw in the camera. Now that we have our gimbal all set up, it's clearly all out of balance, which is where we go to step 3.
Step 3. Balance.
Along with this bottom faceplate, there are 3 main components that allow a gimbal to be stable: the X, the Y, and the Z axis, that makes sure that when they're all balanced correctly, the gimbal can stand on its own. And here we go, looking pretty okay. But like I said before, why balance matters so much is because each one of these runs off of a motor. And if there's something out of balance with it, like say I change the focal length, it's out of balance now and everything has to be changed back or arranged. And if you end up burning out your motors, you can essentially end up ruining your gimbal. So take that into mind.
And as we can see by these two side-by-side shot comparisons, the difference between using one and not using one really makes a difference.
Well, I hope this video was educational and enjoyable, and it showed you how much gimbals can really change the filmmaking style that you want to achieve. Well, with that being said, happy filming.
Now, our good friend and usual host Ian might not be behind the desk today, but that's because I ate him. But before I did, he was working tirelessly, fighting scalpers one-on-one. He took a break from fist fighting to make a quick video to explain his hatred. Let's see what he's got today.
Whoa there, partner. Looks like you're trying to get your hands on a next-gen console or graphics card of some sort. Well, I'm sorry, my companion, but we all have our destinies and yours does not culminate here. For a number of reasons, computer parts and consoles have either been out of stock or their prices have skyrocketed for the past few months. These reasons include, but are in no ways limited to, component shortages, production issues, tariffs, and scalpers. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Ian, if I can't buy these things, how come scalpers can? I'm glad you asked. So the difference between you or I and a scalper is that these creatures use bots to buy as much as they can, as fast as they can. The bots are set up to buy out a store's entire stock for as much as they can get their greedy little hands on as soon as it's listed. So they either do this by interacting directly with the servers or by going through the buying process like normal. What makes this a problem is that since they're going through the servers directly, they don't have to wait for the website to load, which makes it so they can buy things a lot faster than we can. They can buy things so much faster than us, in fact, that they can finish purchases in 2.3 seconds, which is insane. That's how long it takes me to load a web page most of the time, and they can just do that. Plus, to make things worse, they can get through anti-bot measures. A specific example would be 3D Secure, which is used a lot in the EU. It's a security measure that takes you from a web page directly to a page associated with the bank that owns your card. But to get around from that, they're setting up the bots to use cards from outside of the EU, so they don't have that measure enabled at all. So get this, these bottom feeders will buy up this stock and then they'll turn around and sell it back to us way higher than what it's supposed to be priced. Sometimes it gets as bad as even being double or triple the price. And it's such a problem right now that low end and previous generation GPUs are being bought up by these leeches. So you can go online and you can look for processors and you can see one, you're like, oh man, that's a really nice video card. And the market value will be like 60 bucks, but then you look at the actual price and it's like 150. And to make things worse, these scum think they're part of an incredibly valuable industry, or that they're the middlemen who are making these products available to the public. So they think that if they weren't there, less people would have access to these things. So the moral of the story is, if you really want to build a computer right now, or even just get a new one, you should just wait. Because these parasites of society are out there buying up all the stock. But if you still really want to try, just be prepared to shell out way more than you need to.
All right, to put it simply, we do not have the brain capacity to keep coming up with new ideas. Next up, we have what's supposed to be a comic discussion, I think? But boy, was it not that. Just sit back and enjoy whatever the heck this is.
We just call this, and that's also, I don't know if that's inappropriate, to call this segment Midnight Hour. just our midnight ramblings of four deranged nerds.
ASG After Dark.
It is officially midnight, so it works.
Yes, it is.
But it's the next day. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, guys.
This is when we pull up the ASG logo and then play some like smooth jazz. pre-order things.
No, you shouldn't.
No, it's
You
bad.
shouldn't
I
pre-order
concur.
games.
It's
I'm a terrible person and sometimes do it.
well, we all
But I'm very selective about what I'll pre-order.
we all make mistakes. Some people's mistakes are, they pre-order games. Some mistakes are, they think a hot dog is a sandwich. Each.
Oh
To
God,
be
do we
fair,
want to have the
I'm
argument? Do we want to have the
very
argument?
selective about my pre-orders.
I thought you were about to say
It's
you're very
basically
selective
only
about your
Pokemon
sandwich hot
games.
dogs.
What would you even classify a hot dog as?
A hot dog.
If
It's its
not-
own
if it's not a
qualification.
hot-
I've seen some people classify it as a kind of taco. That's a thing.
What?
Think about
I'd
about
be more inclined to call it a taco a hot dog than I would call a hot dog a taco.
Okay, what's the logic? What's the logic behind this?
Because what's the definition of a hot dog?
A hot dog
Delicious.
is
Meat with
Delicious.
meat
Yes.
within
A
meat
stick
with
of mystery meat.
meat within bun with some toppings. No, meat within like bread.
To be fair, we
with some
refer to
toppings.
as just the meat as hot dog as well.
true.
That's
Not
true.
to mention there are a lot of tacos that don't have meat in them. Like there are vegetarian tacos.
Or hot dogs are in like a more bready
So
bun.
it's a chip is a type of bread. It's just hard. I admit I have
Does that
some
mean
wild
that
takes, but
Does
my
that mean
explanation
that
for
a
these
hot
takes
dog
get
in a
worse.
stale bun is a taco?
Would it be any different than a flatbread sandwich?
We're onto
Alright.
something here, guys. We're onto something.
This
We're like
happens at midnight.
we're like
everybody.
two like
There are
pinpoints
4 of
away.
us.
We're like 2 pinpoints away from like discovering like the Da Vinci Code or something. We're gonna
Yeah, like this
figure out
is
who the Zodiac
either,
Killer is.
Like, this is either us transcending humanity itself, or 4 brain cells total, if that many,
No.
bouncing around.
it's somehow 3.6 brain cells,
Yeah.
and none of them are in me at any point. Since this is like a behind the scenes After Dark special, I want to bring up the dumb conversations we have. My personal favorite is the
you mean like the
the
No.
It's the conversation. It's the conversation of Jesus being in Kingdom Hearts. Is my favorite one-off dumb bit we had. Because when you add, obviously Jesus, died for our sins. But in Kingdom Hearts lore, if you die, you have to add an X to his name. He becomes Suschix.
He becomes what? Sausages?
Suschix. And then I want to know what Jesus's Heartless is. The Heartless of Nazareth, if you will.
I believe they call that the Antichrist.
Anyway, since we were mentioning favorite ASG meeting friggin' moments, there's also that time that Dan tried to climb the heating units in our old
did not try. Successfully did.
This is within the first 3 meetings, if we even got to a 3rd meeting when this happened, and I'm just
I wonder if I can climb that.
I was still getting used to you. I still barely knew who you were, and you're just climbing a heating pipe in the middle of the room.
Was this our very first meeting?
Might have been.
No, it wasn't our very first. It was one of our first. But let me say, I made an impression. All of a sudden, putting myself 2 stories above the rest of you.
Well, yeah, it couldn't have been our first meeting because Maya wasn't around our very first. Oh no, yes, she was. But I just remember having never met Dan,
Maya's been here longer than Dan has.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, because she emailed me when I was program director.
I remember being deathly afraid of you because you had power in your hands.
Look how far I've fallen. I'm one of the plebes now.
I didn't even realize what I was saying until it came out of my mouth.
I was so exhausted and mentally drained from having hosted a show an entire season. I just wept during show notes. I just wept.
We love to see it.
Am I
Okay.
hallucinating?
Hold
Is
on.
it so late that I'm hallucinating?
Hold on, can we talk about how well that's lit? Yeah, no,
Kingdom Hearts Jesus himself said, "Let there be light" on Mr. Obama.
Let there. By the way, we've been recording 15 minutes. We definitely have enough content here.
Yeah, we totally do. And whoever that was.
Him too.
No. That.
But that was an amazing segment. We'll be right back with D-Block. Who knows if that's the end? Who knows? It probably won't.
Now, building your own computer might seem like some crazy sorcery, but believe it or not, it's not that impossible. Luckily, our local wizard Nathan took a crack at it and offered to show us a little to see what happens. Enjoy.
Alright, so I got all of the parts that I need to build the computer here. I have everything here that'll go in the tower, which is very exciting. I do not have a keyboard, and I do not have a monitor, and I do not have a table, and I do not have a chair. But I do have a keyboard and a mouse right here, got a monitor, we'll be fine. This is the Ryzen 7 2700X. And that is going to be going into my motherboard, which is an Asus Prime X570P with Aura Sound, which is their RGB. Of the RAM I'm going to be running, which is these 16 gigabytes of Patriot RAM, Blackout Edition Viper. We also have in this really cool bubble wrapping container, we have our SSD. I also, as we saw earlier, have the hard drive out of my laptop that died. So we're gonna have, hopefully, if I do this right, gonna have all of what I need from my old computer. Don't have to buy Windows, don't have to re-download all my Steam games, and I have my old iPhone backup, which is very, very important. For our graphics card, we are running an RTX 2060. This is an EVGA KO Ultra. For our power supply, we have a Corsair CV550. Here is everything. So here it goes. Moment of truth. The motherboard. So yeah, Griffin, if you want to come closer, here it is. Here it is, all in its wrapped up stuff. You know, I don't have an anti-static bracelet or anything anti-static. Hopefully the sweatshirt does not get staticky and make me kill myself by accident. But here it is. As you can see, we have some cables. Yep, these are totally cables. Can't wait to find out what they are, because I don't really know any of this stuff. I don't have it memorized, at least. And more cables. Again, very exciting. Let's see. This, it better come with an owner's. It does. It does. Keep everything on my couch. Okay. That was a allergies dust sneeze, because I am so unclean, and not due to COVID. Can get out the processor and the fan. There we go. Now it's open. And here we have the packaging. We have our sticker, like, you know, your laptop has a little powered by whatever sticker. In this case, we ran AMD because of the fact that it was on sale and I wanted it. Oh, there it is. There's our triangle. So we're gonna put that in there. There it is. And then I believe, yep, I just, put that down. It's not going anywhere. So that was terrifying, and I'm very sweaty and scared now. See, I'm not very bright, and I've never done this before. That's why I'm making a video about it, to show my expertise. So what we have right here is the plastic packaging that just shattered in my hand for some reason. That's awesome. Here is the cooler. I should not have set this down on the table, probably. Yeah, sorry if you actually know what this stuff is. because I'm probably making you very upset. Operating instructions. Oh my god, I almost dropped it. Oh, and I touched the thermal paste again. I am bundling this. Don't touch it. I'm ruining it enough with my own bare hands and just whatever crap I'm running here. Okay, now I'm going to get out the instructions. Okay, oh my god. How long have we been recording, Griffin?
16 minutes.
Maybe stop recording.
Wow, that looks really hard.
Yeah, it does.
Thanks for doing that so we don't have to, Nathan.
Well, folks, that's our show for tonight. But you can always be sure to check out our YouTube channel to find extended cuts, plenty of bonus content, more from your lovable hosts, and all the people on the cast and crew.
Of course. And be sure to follow our Twitter so you don't miss any ASG news, and check back here next Wednesday night at 9 for more ASG goodness. I'm Tony Pirialis.
And I'm Dan the Man. All Systems Go is signing off. Have an absolutely wonderful night. So I still have some, Ian left back in my house. Are you hungry after this? You want to get a bite to eat?
Dan, I might call the cops on you.
Hey, if you do that, I can't build you your computer. Nathan just showed me how to build you an amazing computer.
I already have a built computer, man. I had a professional.
I can bribe you with some hot dogs and some frankfurts.
I'm just gonna leave.
You want some hot dogs and some frankfurts?
Oh, don't include the floor crew guy.